Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Uh, we are going to be doing part one of the last training scenario, Asteroid Redirect mission. So this is a pretty demanding thing. Uh, it's pretty co demanding concept. I've never tried this before, so let's get into it and let's see what it's all going to be about. We haven't succeeded in a lot of these tutorials as much as I would have liked. Alright, let's see. Asteroids. Excuse me. Asteroids, awesome to look at and great to have around, not so much when one lands on your house. Today we're going to learn how to keep that from happening. As anyone who's played Galaxy Intruders for more than 10 minutes can tell you, it's not about firing at where they are, it's about aiming at where they're going to be. Unless this is a new thing for Kerbal Space Program, I do not believe there are actual asteroids in the game. It's not like if you just start career mode, an asteroid is gonna crash down on Kerbin and hit the Space Center out of all places. I don't believe they exist. This is a very weird scenario. I guess it's gonna teach some concepts in this scenario that doesn't exist. And it would be really weird if that did exist. I mean, look at the planet Earth. Our atmosphere has protected us for thousands, if not millions of years from asteroids big enough to do major damage. Now we have had some major ones, but it wouldn't be likely that in the time frame of you playing the game, one would hit. For that, we're going to walk through a process called a rendezvous. Really helpful for making spaceships meet out there and eventually dock, so pay attention. The idea is to know how fast something is going and where it's headed so you can meet at the same place at the same time. Now open your map view and take a look at some things. How is this not just orbiting the docking thing over again? Now, through luck or divine intervention, this particular asteroid has been captured in an eccentric but stable Kerbal orbit. This is about as lucky as one can get with these bodies, because it's really most of them just zoom past Kerbal or take a single trip around it before leaving and never coming back. Interesting. So maybe asteroids are a new thing. Maybe they're just gonna be a random element. Every now and then you'll have like asteroids and comets. Maybe at some point, maybe you could mine them for science and materials. When choosing your own, I recommend you see what there is out there to choose from in the tracking station and track one of your liking. If you don't track it, you'll never catch it. Interesting, so it does seem like a new system. This is new to me. Rendezvous theory. First things first, basic orbital mechanics. If you match your orbit with the objects precisely, you'll be moving at the same speed as it. If you're closer to the body you're orbiting, in the case of Kerbin, then the object you are trying to meet will be going faster if you're slower, and slower if you're further out. Rendezvous practice. Knowing this, let's get started. You know the usual drill. Set the asteroid as your target and tweak that maneuver to orbit on your orbit to have the orbit as close as possible. I'm sure. I recommend using your mouse or scroll when the mouse is over the node modifiers to make adjustments instead of dragging them. Interesting, I didn't know you could do that. You can then check how close your encounter will be if you mouse over the same color of intercepts. This is what the intersect icons should look like. You want them right next to each other. When you're happy with your maneuver, execute the burn. One final warning, when executing these kind of precise maneuvers, try to leave a little delta V remaining as possible, or the end could get vary greatly. Alright. So where is this asteroid? Where is this thing? Asteroid. Here. And it looks like the maneuver already exists. I won't let you go any further if you don't get close enough. Let's see. Side test. Target position. Where is the asteroid? So we're gonna... We have a maneuver here. I didn't make this maneuver. Maybe they are gonna help us out. So I'm just gonna warp to next maneuver. Put the SAS on targeting the maneuver, and then I'm gonna burn and see if this works. Let's see. SAS and start burning. Why is the SAS not working? I'm pushing the button, trying my best. Let's see. If I turn the RCS on, maybe I can use that to better stabilize too. This is not... We do have a ridiculously large amount of fuel here. Let's see, is it all in the same stage? Seems like it is, or most of it is at least. So, I'm at maximum thrust. I have 4-minute burn, it says, which is just ridiculous. We have a major amount of... I don't think these are very... the atomic things. I don't think they have a lot of thrust, but they're very efficient on the fuel. But I could be wrong about that. We'll have to get... When we get into career mode, if we even get to those rockets, we'll see. So, we're here, and we're trying to do an orbital orbit again, and you know what, if this doesn't work, if we run out of fuel, if we can't get into orbit, even though they've set a maneuver for us, I think I might just skip to the second half and we'll see what that is in this episode. Kinda does seem like the asteroid thought is gonna be part of the game, which is unique. It's a new concept. It is definitely a new concept, but it would be a very high level thing. They're very good players of Kerbal Space Program, and then there's me and everybody else. I mean, I play lots of games, and I do it just ever so slightly, in my opinion, better than the average player. And Kerbal Space Program gives me a lot of trouble. It gives a lot of people a lot of trouble. There's really no super easy mode. I mean, the super easy mode needs to be a different game in itself, because there's just too much. There needs to be a lot of auto assisting, like automatic maneuvers, automatic execution of the maneuvers, automatic intersecting with things. I mean, really, this whole thing for an easy player would need to just be click on what you want to intersect with it and have the computer auto-calculate that and execute the maneuver and do just everything. It would have to be pretty much a lot more of just taking the specific intrinsic things that need to be done in Kerbal Space Program, just taking those out for an easy version. So we're burning, it says 2 minutes and 25 seconds. This is an incredibly long burn. I mean, the maneuver was already here, but then it talked about like we were supposed to make the maneuver. And this is going on for a very long time, and it is just ever so slowly increasing the apoaxis, but it's taking a lot of thrust. We are going faster and faster to achieve this. And that's the end of my fuel for those. So 43 seconds now. I'm lighter. But that's a little weird that we had to do that. Kinda indicates that I messed up again. And if I messed up, it's because this tutorial messed up. I mean, really, they needed to give me exact maneuvers, exact things. Made it impossible to fail in the training. I mean, I'm not taking any blame for the poop. I think that's the moon. Yeah, I don't think that's the asteroid we're looking for. Some of the engines are more efficient on fuel at max thrust, some are more efficient at not max thrust, at lower thrusts. That's all kind of the hidden, well, the numbers aren't hidden. That is one thing I can say about Kerbal Space Program, is that as far as I've been able to see, they have not spent any effort to hide any of the game mechanics numbers from you. They seem to be more than willing to tell you, this engine has a max thrust here, it will work best here. So you could run the math and calculate it and do it. There are often games, Plague Inc. is a good example of this. Let's see. Where you will certainly play a game of Plague Inc. and you'll get a score, but why you got that score is completely hidden to you. Let's see. We're kind of just looking here for the for this. I think I just want to stop here. I'm just gonna stop here. So I don't know if I'm just gonna escape Kerbal and be in the soul thing, or if I'm gonna be anywhere close to the intersection here. I don't think I'm gonna be anywhere close to it. So let's just, I guess, time accelerate. So I'm gonna get rid of this maneuver, and here's the asteroid. I guess you can view it in the tracking station, which we'll do that in a second. And then I'm just gonna warp here. And so I guess in theory we're gonna get close. If I'd set my thing just as the target. I mean, I could try and burn towards the target. Or I could try to burn away from the target. I think that's about the only thing I can do. Is just burn away from the target and try and not escape. Use the last of my fuel to see what's going on. Trying to just, let's see, rocket control, fuels, advanced grabbing unit. I guess that's what the new advanced grabbing unit is to use the arm to think. These are fuel tanks that on top of these, and then this is a larger fuel tank that is pumping through this metal, this yellow fuel duct into this point. Otherwise these rockets wouldn't be getting any fuel. So my hope is what I'm doing here is curving this back. Actually, there's a moon encounter that the asteroid is going to encounter the moon and then be changed in its path again. And I'm flying away from the target. So I'm just flying this direction, which is more kind of in the parapsis, which is probably straightening out my thing. So that was a mistake. I should have been flying towards the target. Yep. Made a mistake there. Now that I'm flying towards the target, I've wasted more fuel. I fully realize I'm making mistakes, but I'm getting no guidance here. I was given a maneuver. I tried to follow the maneuver, and it didn't work. Why was there a maneuver there if I wasn't supposed to follow it? Uh, we're down to 600. I don't know, are these liters or gallons of liquid fuel? Almost sneezed. We are gonna be basically heading straight for Tylo, but it won't be there anyways. So if we escape the Kerbin, the Kerbin Sphere of Influence, all that would do is put us in a orbit around the sun. It's even though we're kind of pointed towards the sun, we would in no way actually be anywhere close to hitting it. Notice this line does intersect. Or does it? No, it really kind of doesn't. When you start zooming in, it's hard to see. It looks like it does from one angle, looks like it doesn't from another. We're getting all kinds of slingshot calculations flickering from our target. Wait. This might work. We have 200, and we've at least maintained an orbit of some sort, and not just an escape trajectory. Maybe we can get this to work. I seriously doubt it though. I really want to iterate, and probably am reiterating this. When you're playing career mode, just don't do this. Not until you become a super mega expert at the game. Send one rocket up, collect your science, have it land back on your planet. If for some reason that doesn't work, revert your flight and go back in time. Don't leave your ship stranded. Don't think to yourself for a second, I'll come back and save them. Because it's way too difficult. Don't go chasing after asteroids if they really are a new element to the game, which it seems like they are with the grabber arm and this scenario. I would not do it. Even if you were just coincidentally really close to an asteroid. Almost still probably not worth it. Too much work. Too much maneuvering things. It's a lot easier to get to the moon. It's a lot easier to get to these planets. And they're still pretty difficult. Don't get me wrong, but it is way easier to land on a giant rock versus trying to land or fly near a tiny little spaceship or an asteroid. And this asteroid looks huge, actually. 23 million meters. Oh, that's the distance away from it. Let's look at the info on it. If we can. Nope. We can't. It looks huge. It looks bigger than Kerbal. We're using just the last of our fuel to try and run into this uh, asteroid. Which pretty much, even if we could get it done, is going to just, unless that's the end of this tutorial, it's just gonna, but this is the exact same scenario as docking, the one we just did before. There's no difference here. It's rendezvous all over again. We couldn't do that one. The training before it didn't work. This training here is not working, and all this is, the training is frustrating me more than the career mode would be. You're gonna see, I'm gonna do a few career mode episodes, and you're gonna see how we start with career mode. It's gonna be a lot different. It's gonna be less, what's the word? Less, let's see. We're watching the separation here, trying to get it to go down, if we can. This is ambitious, is what these training things are. In career mode, I'm gonna be very unambitious, and I'm gonna get a lot of things unlocked and a lot of things done, and not even try some of this stuff. And with less ambitiousness, there's going to be a lot more success. And that is true how the whole space race started, is that we didn't start off saying we were going to send a man to the moon. That's not how we started off at all. We started off sending thousands of little rockets up and seeing how far they could get, and then thousands of little satellites up to see how far they can get, and then we start sending, we probably then send thousands of animals and test animals up to see if they would survive before humans tried. But yeah, we didn't just immediately, our first launch was not the launch towards the moon. If it was, we would have certainly failed. You have to start small, you have to learn, and I really thought the training was going to be that. And it really isn't that. I'd also suggest playing in sandbox mode first. So if you've never played Kerbal Space Program, playing in sandbox mode would probably be as equal, if not better, than doing the training. Yeah, they need to fix this. It's just simple things. Training should have been, press this key to throttle up, press this key to throttle down. You completed the training. Good job. But they put all of that into one mission. We're down to about 50 liters, I'll just call them liters, of liquid fuel. And we're getting close. In theory, we're getting close to the rocket. I'm probably just doing this completely wrong, flying directly towards the asteroid. But I don't know what else I could have done. The only thing I can think is that maneuver that was originally here was not intended for us to actually use in the way it was said. It was intended for us to adjust it, because it did say adjust it. But then it gave me a maneuver, and I guess maybe I just didn't figure that one out. We're down to 20 liquid fuel. We are in an orbit. The orbit does come close to intersecting this asteroid. But no, we're not going to make it. Here's an intersection. The intersection is going further away. It is possible if we go in just several loops, we might eventually line up with it. But we'll see. I'll put it on warp for a while after we use the last of our fuel. That's the last of our fuel. We should now have nothing. They're all off. They're radioactive and they're very hot. Let's see. And they'll eventually cool down. So, might as well turn the engines off and we'll just fast forward. So the asteroid comes and then it's going to come back, and here's the asteroid now back. We missed it on the way back, and then it's going to get into the sphere of influence of the moon, and when it does that, it's going to have a slightly different pattern. So it's coming back and getting close, and coming back and getting close. And so there is this range that is ever changing. And in real rocket science, you could calculate orbits where you have to go around a couple times before you intersect the thing, but I'm not even facing the right direction. One thing I'm realizing here, that this is silly. This is going the wrong direction. I should be following it. So I should be going anti-clockwise with it. Not whatever direction I'm here. Clockwise. Here it's gonna run into the moon again. This would be a major problem. It is just a problem with the thing. I mean, look, the orbit now has completely changed on the asteroid. If they were going to do this, they shouldn't have done it like this. The orbit of the moon is going to either slingshot it further, twist it. So if you missed, even if you missed in a couple of loops, it messes up again. Here's another moon encounter, and yet again, and there it went. It just got slingshotted out of the sphere of influence of carbon. So it's gone. That's not even, they shouldn't have even put the asteroid in this path. It should have been in between, here, let me just, should have been in between the rings of the moon and Minmus, or it should have been outside the ring of Minmus in a way that neither one of our orbits would have been affected by that. The way they've set this tutorial up is just wrong. Having the moon in as a factor is wrong. Here's a probe that they say that's a probe, but that's actually just the it's just the garbage. Interesting. And I've reset the entire scenario by switching. Interesting. And broken the scenario too. Let's end this scenario and see if we can even do the second part, because typically when I break a scenario, the way this game seems to work is it saves everything uh in that universe that we were flying around, and it just saves it even in the scenarios. So when you break a scenario, you pretty much have to reinstall. In this part, we will look on how to actually catch an asteroid and decide what to do with it. Alright. Well, pilot, you caught up to it, but don't pat yourself on the back yet. You're not even close to done. How about we catch this rock? Right click the white dome on the top of your ship and arm your grapple. Well, that would be great if my ship was loading. But since it's not, because now I've got to reinstall, uh, that's gonna be the end of this episode. Wow. They need to fix this. This is not 1.0 training. It isn't. Let's see. And so we've got these scenarios here. That I'm gonna already just say we're not gonna do these first two. Click here to learn more about NASA's real asteroid redirect mission. Fine. That's probably some good information, but it's gonna load a web page, so you wouldn't be able to see it if I clicked it. So check that out yourself. I think we can do this one. I think we can try that one. And then we can try moon orbit, and we can try this one even though it's a docking mission. But we're gonna go ahead and skip this because we've already done those two, or at least attempted them, so I don't even know why these scenarios have been duplicated like that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. If anybody knows of a mod, here's what needs to exist. Whether I don't know if it exists or not, but there needs to be a mod that's just like super automatic, make the game easy mode, like just a supercomputer rocket SAS where it calculates maneuvers, it does it perfectly, to way beyond what even the best human players could do. And all you have to do is click just one button to go there. If there's a mod out there, let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. I know I'm bad at this game, you don't have to tell me. If you want to support me, there's two ways you can do that. One is clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. The other way is to click on the Amazon.com affiliate link in the description and just shop normally. If you want to friend or follow me on practically any social media, all of those links are down below also. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.